with HipHopGamer.
660, baby.
It's on now, son. The go to the game, baby.
HipHopGamer.
Ready for war, rigid the core, never ignore. Sweating your pores, breathing is all. Allergies more, time is up. I'm back with it, black gifted, bad business, mad lyrics, flash image, brass physics, don't stop. Sick with it, sicker, illa, get you throwing up a lung of liver. That's the type of metaphor to force a healthy temperatures. Richard never get it, their position never ministers. So many make mistakes, and that's the greatest of literature. Picture perfectionist, never resist, being a gift. Cause what I give is 100% and of everything I am that you never is.
That's incredible, baby.
Kid, that's just a little something, you know what I mean? The 660. Who said gamers can't rap?
You think it's a game? 660 with HipHopGamer.
660, baby.
Yo, what's up? It's the go to the game, HipHopGamer. Hot 97 to 660 is going down right now. Now, look, it's not every day you get a chance to talk about Brooklyn on this level. You know what I'm saying? And I'm from Brooklyn, East New York. Brooklyn all day. Got to spin the chain on that. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to show y'all love for someone that's leading the charge with that Afropunk all day. Give it up for the one and only Alan P. Lamb.
That's what's up, brother. That's what's up.
What's going on, baby? So first off, let's get right into it, man. There's so many things I can ask you, but I want to start off like this, man. Everything to me, the importance of it has to come from passion. Like the passion has to be the first part. So my question to you is, man, when did you realize you had such a passion, you know, for Afropunk and just a passion for the culture to the point where you showed so much humility in order to give us what we love to experience? Talk to me, dog.
That's what's up. I love that question. And I also just want to know, I'm also a Brooklyn boy. So we are bringing Brooklyn hard. Bed-Stuy representing. You know, part of what makes Afropunk so special for people to know is that it has always been about celebrating the fringes, right? We have black culture is not a monolith, and so in discovering the brand, even for myself, and coming up through, there's a boy in Bed-Stuy who went off and left the city to go to school and to come back to New York. You know, I found myself being exposed to so much music, arts, culture, and Afropunk is really the only brand that I found that represented that along the way. So I love that you mentioned humility. It is a privilege to be able to lead and to create and to generate, you know, opportunity for people to come express themselves inside of our spaces. We don't lead the people as the brand. The people really define the brand itself. That's what I love.
Wow. And I love it, man. And I got a major question right out the gate for you right now. So I just officially partnered with Denzel Washington and his school, Denzel Washington School of Arts in Mount Vernon, right? So what we doing there is I got a program called Playmakers. I'm a professional gamer, you know what I'm saying? So we bring in gaming there, a brand new art form, like all these other things. So my question to you, the brand of Afropunk, like how can we make this exist in the culture of school so that the education of Afropunk could be a daily thing instead of it being something that's just happens once in a while through a celebratory event?
Yeah, this is such a great question. I love that. I can attack this on a few layers. One, it's important to recognize Afropunk is global. We're not just talking about Brooklyn kids. We're not just talking about NYC kids. We're not just talking about US kids. It is on 4 continents, okay? We got Europe. We have Africa. We've been to South Africa. We've done pop-ups in Dakar. Most recently, we landed in South America into Brazil, our 3rd year, you know, with tens of thousands of people. So this is about connecting our minds around the globe, the Black diaspora. So when you mention education, which is close to my heart, coming from a family of educators in Brooklyn, coming up through the New York City public schools, that's what's up. It is important to first set our mentality and exposure, right? So part of that is we're a media company, you know, and so being able to bring culture through these festivals, landing around the globe and doing exchanges of what it means to have artists. We'll come to that shortly, I'm sure. But you know, coming to stage whose first language isn't English, and who may approach celebrating their Blackness differently, and yet we're all the same, is the first part. The second part, getting into schools, that's important, is we've started an initiative over the last 24 months or so, diving into the crevices of U.S. culture, places where maybe we don't think we exist or sometimes even welcome. And that has been with a lot of the arts and cultural institutions. So I'll just mention a few here. The Smithsonian, right? NAMAC, the National Museum of African American History and Culture. We've begun to work with them. Lincoln Center in New York. We've had several different pop-ups there. But these are spaces, brother, where, you know, we may not find content that's leaning in for ourselves, but we as Afropunk have begun to create that canvas. So the next frontier is schools. And I think gaming in particular is the perfect way to lean to that. I love that you're leading that.
Yo, bro, so I'm gonna tell you something right now. And yo, shout out to Ebony. Y'all don't see her, but she's listening. But let me shout out to Ebony. Now, one of the things when I got the email, dog, and I'm like, yo, I gotta talk to her. I gotta talk to somebody. Like, this is crazy. But when I was looking at the list, and I was like, where's the gaming at though? Like, where's the gaming at? So my question, you know, to you from a gaming standpoint, what's some of your favorite like games growing up? And based on where gaming is at and tech is at and AI and all these other things, how do you, or what is your vision on bringing these things into the Afropunk fold so it could become a part of the DNA of what the brand Afropunk is?
You're just hitting these questions. I love them. So we are calling this Afropunk in Brooklyn Blacktopia. Okay. Yeah. And so leaning into the question, let me start with that. It is not just about the physical existence. This is about taking it to the next level. You know, Afropunk is so much a psychographic. It's about how you think. It's not about how you look. It's not about the music listened to. It's not about, you know, what you're heading out and eating, who you hang with. This is about how you think. And so, you know, part of what we've been looking to do with Blacktopia over the last couple of years as we've leaned into Afrofuturism is really about this gamer's mentality in gaming. So what did I play growing up? I was a Nintendo boy. I still have the original Rob, the ROB. Y'all know about that one. But I have the original Nintendo. Stuff? The original. Still have it around. Excitebike was my game. So have that and come through, of course. I know what's up. I know what I'm talking about. So then graduated on to the little purples and pinks of the N64, right? Had a little bit of dabbles in the Sega and all that stuff as well. But you know, we in Brazil had one of the first gaming collaborations and partnerships with Riot Games. We brought Valorant into the mix, and the importance here is that there are characters as gamers would know who are Valorant players who represent folks that look like us, right? So you have Reyes, who's Afro-Brazilian and Latina, and so part of that has been beginning to lift up the community by attaching ourselves with other brands who represent us. But beyond that, just showing up in cosplay. Cosplay has been deep and rich within Afropunk culture for some time. It goes along with the music, goes along with our ethos. And so we've been lifting up more and more. We have more to do in sort of bringing that to the frontier, but more and more making that visible and celebrating it.
Yo, bro, we got so much more to talk about. Yo, I'm so hyped right now. You don't understand, son. So now I want to talk about the lineup because like the lineup that y'all got is crazy. And when I saw Erykah Badu name hit that, I'm like, all right, this is crazy. Because I was just literally watching. It's like, so a lot of people don't understand is that old content is also new content for those that never experienced that content. So I'm up here watching some like old Erykah Badu videos, her and Common and all these other things. And I'm like, yo, this is just so pure. It gives me that brown sugar movie feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. So my question to you is, curating this lineup, why did you choose who you chose, like, to have represent Afropunk on that stage? And is there any like possible surprises or something that we can expect to get even more hype for?
Love those. I'll start with there's definitely some surprises to come. I mean, what goes a party without a little bit of surprises? So I'm not going to release those here, but there will definitely be some surprises in the sets. I'll speak about Larissa Luz. Let's start there, who's a Brazilian artist. She is both a TV and film artist and a wonderful performing artist and singer who we're bringing into the U.S. Larissa has a wonderful following, fantastic following. If you look through the Afropunk comments, in fact, lots are in Portuguese. That's how big the following are. With her landing in the U.S. for Afropunk stage. So we have her. She's performed in a stage at Afropunk Bahia, which, by the way, let me just drop here. For those who don't know about Bahia, it was the first coast of the transatlantic slave trade. It is the blackest part of Brazil. And so that's where Afropunk chose to go and land itself for its festival existence in South America. So Larissa is from Bahia. Duran Bernard, who we've had on our stage several times over. We had him last year, having him again this year, rips it down every time. To me, don't say you heard it from me, but lots of, essence of Prince in there, but really just takes this artistry to the next level. And we always love to bring Duran back. And then the secret behind Duran is that Duran is a part of the Erykah Badu clique. So we have a special, sort of flavor coming with that. So let's hop on Erykah. And beyond being one of my favorites, you asked about curation. She's the performance so nice, you got to have her twice. We're calling this Badu, as in the French two. We have Erykah two ways, and it'll be two separate performances for each of Friday and Saturday night. Why is this important about Erykah? Because if you followed her career, as wonderful and diverse, she continues to iterate and change herself every opportunity she gets. Even for our performances, she's never done this before, back to back. She's leaning into lots of, I want to spoil what she's going to bring, but it will be different. She was last on our stage in 2018. She represents the Afropunk ethos and psychographic that I mentioned. And as we step into our 20th year, which is next year, the first festival being in 2005 in the parking lot of BAM, we wanted to bring, some folks, and there will be others who will come this year, who have graced the stages of Afropunk, who represent us and are always up for the culture. Erykah is one of those. You can see it in her post about Afropunk, and you're going to see it on Friday and Saturday night.
Wow, I'm so hyped for this joint, son, because I know it's gonna be crazy. But you know what it is? What I love about what you're saying is the conviction and the energy behind it. One of the things that in this day and age too, sometimes people feel like they too cool. You know what I mean? To show love and passion for something that they doing.
I'm a fan, brother. I'm a fan. Yeah. But the beauty is, Erykah is too, and so is every other artist that graced the stage. It's always about that humility and knowing that we're all connected through this fandom.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm a star in my own right. You a star in your own right. But I love being a fan too. And I'm trying to be the best. I'm trying to out-fan you. I want to be like the best fan. I can't, because imagine how good it must feel for artists to be on stage and really feel loved and appreciated and believed in through their music. Why wouldn't you not want them to feel that way when you would want to feel the same way, on the stage? So
there's no doubt about that. I just want to tell you, because you hit a great chord there. What I have found traveling the world with Afropunk, the privilege of being able to do that, and seeing artists who are some of the biggest in the world climb off of stage, finish their set, and you know what they do? They will come right down to the pit or out into the audience and watch the next performer. That's what's beautiful about that mentality. And I think we're one of the few festivals where they're willing and feel comfortable enough to do that. It's about the space, right? And how they're thinking in that space.
Wow, see, that right there is so dope. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Tyler, the Creator, did that before, where he literally performed, got off stage, and went right into the audience to watch the next performer. Because you got to understand, there's a beauty in still being a student. You know what I'm saying? There's still a beauty in being a student, because in order to be a teacher, you have to be a student. So the more you want to teach and the more you want to lead, you have to still remain a student of the game as it grows together. And that's what I love about Afropunk, because that's what it does, and that's what the ethos is around the brand. So I gotta ask you this. This is more of a funny question, but I gotta ask you this, right? Did you ever have an afro growing up? And if so, who had like the dopest afros like that you remember like growing up and stuff like that? Like share an afro story, bro, if you got one.
I love that. You know, I got plenty of photos of my parents with afros who also, you know, grew up in Brooklyn and Brooklyn bred. I graduated to more of like it was a high top fade. You know, I had at one point a little slope going on, and so I had my secrets of how I used to get my slope together before I headed out to you know, to school. But yeah, you know, as far as who kept it tightest, man, I mean, I'm sure you remember looking at them Big Daddy Kane, you know, sort of fades. You got the Kwame fade. I remember all of them coming up. So huge fans. And of course, growing up in Brooklyn, I just remember sitting on the stoop, you know, all the music that was coming out of Brooklyn back in the 90s. It was an amazing time. And so, and clothes, you know, and culture was a part of that. So it's of no surprise that I landed in a spot where I could, you know, continue to celebrate that as a Brooklynite.
Wow, this is amazing, man. So I got another question for you. This major question. It's also a personal question, but it's major. So my question to you is, I like to ask everybody this, but what was a moment in your life where you felt like you was at your lowest and things couldn't get any worse, but you managed to find strength in that moment that allowed you to be legendary today?
Yeah, that's such a fantastic question. And I love, you know, the threads of humility and being a student at all times. I'll keep this quick, studied. I was a great student coming up and really prided myself on figuring out how to go do what I wanted to do. And that happened to be, you know, I had a very creative mind, a very technical mind. I went to Brooklyn Tech for high school.
Oh, wow.
And so I went off and I went to school, and somewhere toward the end of my first year, I had a lot of trouble in school. I almost failed out of school. In fact, I mean, it's like insane. I walked in thinking I was so high flying, and it got to a point where I really, you know, crashed in terms of like who I thought I was and what I had to lean on. So I was able to you know, find that inspiration, some of that, and hopping into the good book. And being able to lead myself into diving into, you know, some of inspiration there, and then really just finding out that you know, always being focused on those around me, building community was important. So I love that that's a part of both what we're building with Afropunk. You talk about gaming. I think we find that there, and always finding there's others around you, you know, who's either a step ahead of you or someone else you can teach. You know, so some of that was some of the learnings that had taken place. And then, you know, I don't know about being legendary today, but I do think mentally I am, just like you and your listeners, because, you know, the perspective in the world, if we can all learn to keep, you know, this mentality that we're always students. I'm just repeating what you've said already, brother, because I think it's important, and always looking to those around you. You can learn from anyone. And I learned that from my parents and my father in particular early on. No matter where you land in life, what station, you can always find something to learn from someone in your environment, no matter if you're standing at the hot dog stand in the city or if you're sitting at a boardroom table or sitting at, you know, in a DJ's booth in front of a mic. There's always something you can learn. And this is, you know, when I'm finding through your questions also. So I love that you're asking these.
Wow, nah, definitely, man. Yo, listen, let me tell you something, like just fun fact, because you know, I love the audience to understand these things too. So I don't do the type of content that's gossipy, and I don't do like, you know, like the ratchet stuff. Like one of the things that I'm very thankful for is the fact that I'm able to do to be positively entertaining. And what I mean by that is, especially in the hood and everywhere we come from, so many people have a high trajectory based on the level of ignorance they could provide an audience. And I don't want to do that. So like I craft my questions around my heart, and I craft my questions just around simply caring, because I want to see the best in everybody. So I ask questions so people could feel more connected to who I'm talking to. So that's why this is designed like that. And then somebody like yourself, bro, this is a statement that I'm about to say before we get into more questions. But the fact that you are leading the charge with something that means so much to many people, it can a lot of times come with people sometimes being upset, sometimes got a complaint about this. You can't please everybody. 50 Cent just did so many amazing things in Louisiana, and somebody still found something to be mad at. Like, you know what I mean? It's always a problem. But not everybody is built to be able to handle the problems. But those that are was given that God armor to go through it. And you got it. So I just wanted to commend you on simply who you are. And the best thing you could ever do for somebody like me that's a fan is to just keep breathing. Keep breathing, keep existing, and keep breathing. That's my statement to you. And now let's get into the next question, bro. So now my next question, now this right here is real crazy, real crazy.
Right,
so get ready.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So,
let's do it.
Today, there's a brand new video game that came out today. And the name of the game is called Black Myth Wukong. And I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but it's you're like you play as like this like Shaolin like monkey karate type of person. It's insane. You know, like Wu-Tang would go nuts over this. RZA and all of them, they were crazy. My question to you is there's so many games in the gaming industry right now, such as Assassin's Creed Shadows, that's led by Yasuke, who's a real black samurai, all these other things. How after the show, after the actual event, how can we implement a lot of gaming culture, into Afropunk as a brand where we could probably go on Twitch and watch some Afropunk, play some games, like, do things like that. How do we help you grow the digital side of this in the gaming industry?
What a great question. And it's one that I ask people like all the time, right? How do I help you? So thank you for asking that. There's a couple of ways. Let me start with this, getting back to your compliment, which I appreciate, and encouragement. I am but a shepherd here, right? In the end, someone else eventually will shepherd, we don't all live forever. So, I get to, have the privilege of creating spaces, and the resources and making sure that we're using resources right. So coming back to, the potential criticism at times just comes along. We aren't all perfect. No one's perfect. Is that, as long as I and my team and those around us in our ecosystem are doing the best we can to shepherd as fans, and to listen to me, I call myself a chief listening officer in that way. It's listen first always. I always have the mic. When I begin speaking, I can always shut a conversation down. But in the end, the most important part, the hardest thing to do is to listen. So that's first of all. So we listen to the audience, we listen to the artists, we listen to our partners, and then we, using our expertise and experience, help to usher those. So what some of the seeds we put in place is we started a Discord channel. Hop into the Discord, begin to post and attach artwork and experiences of storytelling to the hashtag of Afropunk, become followers. So that's first, which is like deep down, right? Being in the Discord streams. Twitch, I love that. Beginning to attach, we have a Twitch channel, beginning to attach to that so that we can see you, because by us seeing you, our partners see you. And so that's what I want to reveal here. It's a part of, being a business person in the world. And that's where, we get to sit between, sort of community and then the business side. There is an element here of wanting to bring resources back into the community globally. And I really do believe Afropunk's one of the only brands in the globe that does that, sits in 4 different continents, right? Sometimes the same audience members will land in each place, Paris to Joburg or Joburg to Brazil. That is a part of our mission. So what do? Begin to attach yourselves to the brand, and then begin to pop up and speak and storytell. We are always here for you. And as you do that, businesses, communities, partners will begin to take notice, and they will begin to look to Afropunk to help find ways to push resources in your way. And some of those may look like activations at our festivals. Some of those may look like coming into schools as partners. Some of that may look like inviting some of your audience and others to come be a part of the media and entertainment industry, places that we aren't often aware of the business side of things. So those are just a few of the ways I can quickly think of, brother.
Wow, son. Yo, well, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm all in, son. You know what I'm saying? They call me the GOAT of the game for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I do this at the highest level. So, we could talk. Ebony, I know you listening. You already know what we got to do. We got to bother Alan all day. Like, you got to bother him. We got to make this happen. So, I'm gonna tell you this, right? This is real crazy. I never, ever heard the term CLO. Like you just said, Chief Listening Officer. I think that is one of the most important, pure, humility-driven positions that I never even heard of that term, yet it's something that every company should have, a CLO. So just thank you for saying that, because that just went into the memory bank, son. That right there is crazy.
That.
So
appreciate that.
Before we wrap up, I got 2 more questions and we're gonna wrap up. Now, my next question is this, right? Is there anybody, just for, healthy competition, but is there anybody you would call out in a gaming battle, whether it's on Nintendo or wherever, but who would you call out for just for the fun of it? But like if y'all had like a gaming battle halftime at Afropunk between performances, whatever it is, who are you calling out? Who is Alan calling out the battle?
Man, I love that. And you know what? You mentioned the Woo. I know they're gamers. I call out Meth. I love that.
Yo, that's crazy.
I would love to sit and climb into the Woo game, right? Because they had a game to battle there. Just being a fan,
wow.
And then otherwise, I just also want to bring up, part of what we don't bring together a lot is sports. We have a franchise called Black People Do. So, for instance, at Blacktopia this weekend, we have professional wrestlers coming who are Black wrestlers. How often do you get to see, a wrestling ring in the middle of Brooklyn? We're going to have that set to metal and other Afropunk performers. So that's where the convergence of culture comes. And so it's not so much, about calling out, others to come in, but I do know out there between, there's performers who we've had come through who are into gaming, who kind of stay behind the scenes, lots of different professional athletes we would love for them to come out of the fabric and create an environment where they want to come and sit next to audience members, because getting back to who we are as fans, we're all the same. You could be, a kid sitting at 15, like my son, gaming and playing against Ronnie or whoever who's also a professional gamer, and be at the same level or better. And we love bringing communities together just to see each other in that way.
Yo, dog, this is too much, dog. This is too much. This is insane right here, son. And to wrap it up, for the final question, man, what is the biggest goal, and also what does success look like for you for the upcoming Afropunk takeover in Brooklyn? What do you really want people to get out of this? What do you want them to leave with? You know what I'm saying? And what does success really look like to you at the end of the day once, everybody goes home?
Yeah. So much of this sometimes is about what happens in the space. I love to stand back and just look at people's faces showing off. Fashion is one of the things Afropunk's really become known for, with Vogue and others showing up each and every year. There are others who come through just to get a taste and a feel. So the fact that we create an environment where people feel comfortable artistically, sometimes, not wearing much at all, very artistically come out and feel safe in that space, that's important. So success is creating safe spaces. We have, a ball that will take place. There's others. So we have always been friends to and an open space for any type of psychographic or any type of identifiers to come in and express themselves. So that's number one, to be respectful of that. So seeing people in a safe space is one. Two, and lastly here, is making sure that afterward, people have found inspiration in what we've brought to them. Part of what I like to tell my team is we are really bringing the future forward. We've been to the future as Afropunk. The beauty in being able to go to South Africa and to Dakar and to Paris and to London and across the United States and into Brazil is to see how different cultures have, split apart as Black diaspora, use the very same tools to find themselves and create identity where they are. And we get to create a paintbrush and bring that into different environments. So this weekend, what you're going to see is a little bit of Brazil, a little bit of South Africa, right? And a celebration of a carnival type of atmosphere. But as I mentioned, Blacktopia is all about the abstract and learning how to challenge our minds and bring that forward. So as we bring the future down to earth into Brooklyn, I hope afterward to see that lifting back up into innovation and inspiration afterward.
Yo, dog. The moment you said the paint, that was just the ultimate way. That's like the ultimate silhouette of greatness with Afropunk, man. Yo, I'm telling y'all right now, make sure y'all follow, pay attention to what Alan is doing. Afropunk is different. They doing bigger and better things. And we're going to make sure they bring gaming, you know what I'm saying, to the brand in a big, authentic way, because we got to see this continuously grow for the future. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling y'all right now, it's to go to the game, Hip Hop Gamer, on your Hot 97 every day. That's my word. And once again, give it up, Afropunk. Let them know where they can find you at, Alan, if people's trying to get a hold of you, man.
All across social feeds at Afropunk, AFROPUNK. We see you this weekend.
Yo, this weekend's gonna be crazy. Let's get it. See y'all there. Peace.